Hey everybody, June of 2000 here, coming at you with Rant on Neon's 2024 psychological thriller movie, LongLegs. Where it's just not an epic rant, like, I don't think this movie's a piece of shit or anything, but I do think this is the most boring movie of this year. But it isn't a piece of shit compared to, like, Borderlands or the Roadhouse remake. But I did not really care for this movie. I found it very dull, boring, and just very snooze fest. Even like an hour in, I'm like bored as shit. Nothing doesn't happen for a while until like the last act of the movie, where the character is like, some mom is like a nun and she's going crazy, killing Blair Underwood's character and all that stuff, and revealing more details about something with long legs, played by Nicolas Cage. And yeah, Nicolas Cage and Blair Underwood are the only two actors that I remember seeing in movies. Like, those are the only two known actors, but everybody else, I do not know who the hell the other actors are. I don't know what other movie the lead actress that played Lee, was it Marinka Monroe or something? I do not know what movie she's been in, but like, I don't know. I have to see what other movie she's in, but I'm getting kind of sick and tired of these movies where these filmmakers are making actresses have like a dreadful phase where they're so dumbfounded, not dumbfounded, but like they're not showing emotions. They're not showing like great acting in their emotions of face, like having like a mix of scared, fearness, awesome, witty, and even some chuckles with with some of her detective friends that she's has partners in the detective department because she's a cop in the movie that her character is in LongLegs. They just have her. Just, I don't know. I'm getting kind of sick and tired of these new movies nowadays. They have the film. They want to have like the lead actress be so boring and just like not giving a fuck in their emotions. They just want to make them boring. Unless it's both, where they don't care. But most of these new actors are pretty terrible in their performance and they're awful. That's why most of these new movies kind of suck, and why we still say that the original good movies are better. Yeah, because this is the other problem with movies. But Longlegs, it starts off with the character Lee, who she's a little girl, and then she starts hearing noises at this house, an abandoned house, and then one leads to another. She sees like a murder off that is shown off screen, but it goes into an opening credits, and really don't know what it is until like it was revealed something with long legs. And yeah, it has an open credit, and it's like years later. She's older. She's like 30 years old. She's a detective in the police department. Her partner are going to this house or something, and then they start hearing noises, and then her partner knocks, but he gets right away shot in the face by a gun crazy guy. So she goes in, tries to stop him, but a lot of crazy shit happens. It just, like, she goes in, not calling backup. She just goes in and then tries to stop the guy, but she couldn't. But all in all, it just you just build. You're stuck with her character, and like this character just goes on where she's dealing with some trauma that she had as a kid that she saw, because as audience we don't know what the hell she was seeing as a kid because it's revealed to the end. But one leads to another. She's like, um, she's investigating these murder suicides because that's what it was. What that guy did when she shot Lee's partner. He was murdering somebody in the house, and then he murdered their partner, and then he commits suicide at the end after she finds him. But what leads to another, she is involved in investigating more of these suicide murder that happening throughout the community, and she's trying to find connection. And I know like there's like weird Easter egg parts where the devil's actually surrounding her in some parts of the police station or house that she's at. Some people have pointed out like you see some dark shadows and it's supposed to be the devil that's like keeping that's like spying on her. And throughout the movie, she doesn't really have like any friends to talk to, like besides like Blair Underwood, who's like her boss in the movie, and and there's not really much for his character. Like there's not really much like to root for anything about this movie because she's just investigating these murders, and then she has to deal with her mom, who's like a nun, and then she has to like deal with seeing like gruesome murders, but it's not really gruesome or anything. And well, at least to another, just I can't remember. Sorry, folks, I can't remember most of the story because I stopped giving a shit about this movie. It's just it's boring, man. Like one leads to another, she is trying to find more answers. So she goes see LongLegs, who's at a mental institution and played by Nicolas Cage. Which Nicolas Cage was cool, but I wasn't really scared of his LongLegs character. Like it didn't really shock me. It didn't really scare me. Like, man, this guy's not anybody to fuck with. No, he was just very cartoony. He was just very laughable. The way he was like talking, it just felt very cartoony. Like to me, I prefer his Casper Troy role in Face Off. Like that's more scarier than LongLegs, where he plays Casper Troy in that one. It's just LongLegs. That's just I don't know. I just found it cartoony. Him as LongLegs, supposed to be creepy, but I didn't find him creepy. And what leads to another, she's trying to find more answers about these murder suicides, and it's like something involved with the devil and the spirit, and the devil keeps like spying on her with these Easter eggs that people on the internet have found out. And then one leads to another, she's going to see Blair Underwood and his family, and also her family's there too with her mom and her sister. But her mom goes all crazy, killing Blair Underwood and everybody else, except Lee and her sister. And sister has like this doll or something that's demonic-ish with voodoo and satanic shit on it. And it turns out it was made by LongLegs. And Lee saw that LongLegs murdered somebody in their basement. It wasn't an abandoned house. It was actually their basement, and Lee's mom had LongLegs lived there with them. But he like made her like this doll that has like evil demonic shit. But also like LongLegs is a crazy person, so like he was like committed after that from something that never explained what was he committed for. Or unless I gotta see it again, but something's like very powerful and demonic about the doll, so the mom wants to kill it, but she gets killed, and then Lee and her sister or destroying the doll so they could get rid of the evil and all that shit. And then they walk away, and that just ends the movie. And that was it. That was LongLegs, and I just find this to be a very dull experience. I know many love this movie, and to each their own. If anybody loves it, like, I'm not counting this as a piece of shit rant or anything, but I'm just ranting because it's a boring movie. I would say it's more boring than a piece of shit. Because to me, like, it does have some good lighting. I do like Nicolas Cage, but it's just, to me, his villain role character as LongLegs was very cartoony, and it's just the movie didn't really did much for me. And I don't know, it's just, I found it to be very fucking boring. Nothing was interesting. It wasn't like, it's getting all this overrated hyped shit where it's, oh, it's the scariest movie of all time. Then they did that with so many movies that comes out. This is the most disturbing movie of this year. The thing that I would say is much, what I would say is a better movie than LongLegs is Barbarian, and I do have problems with that script, but I still enjoy that movie. Like, I would say that's a better scary movie than LongLegs, because at least, even though the first half is the slow build up, but I still enjoyed it. This one, not that much. It was dull. It was boring as shit. I didn't really care for most of the characters. I thought the lead actress was very dull in her performance. And many people want to compare this movie to, like some people are saying that this is a modern take version of Silence of the Lamb. I fucking disagree. Comparing it to modern, like, if you're comparing it to a classic, no way. Because Silence of the Lamb is the better movie. And to me, Silence of the Lamb is better because there's 5 reasons. One, Jodie Foster's a better lead than Maika Monroe. 2, the story isn't dull, isn't boring, it's not convoluted at times. Because the story of LongLegs is a little convoluted and doesn't make any damn sense. 3, Buffalo Bill's a scarier villain than LongLegs. He wasn't cartoony. He wasn't like very stupid or something. He's just, I thought he was disturbing because guess what? His character was even based on Ed Gein, who based on Norman Bates and Leatherface. And 4, I like Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal's another villain, even though he's not mostly the villain of that movie. It's more like Buffalo Bill. But like, it's cool to see that having a secondary villain that's smart. Like, he's more intelligent than the lead character in this movie, because she does, like, the lead character in this movie just does mistakes in this movie and doesn't really like do good at her job. So like, she does a lot of mistakes. Whereas Hannibal Lecter, he doesn't do a mistake. He actually outsmarts everybody. And then 5, it's a well presented movie directed by Jonathan Demme, rest in peace, Jonathan Demme, and well casted with Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling and Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter, and Buffalo Bill played by Ted Levine. Good actors, man. And they're actors that I've seen in movies that I do enjoy their acting performance in other films. And they're well recognizable actors. And the movie does have some other good actors in the film. Where this one, it's just only 2 actors I know in this movie. All the actors, I do not know who was in this movie. Never seen them before. But I thought everybody just did a bored performance. Except Nicolas Cage. He was like cartoony, but it's just everybody else just felt boring. And I gotta say, this has got to be the most boring film I've seen this year. And I don't really care about seeing it. It's just like, and also it's made by Neon Pictures, which I don't know what other movies they did, but they're kind of like a shitty secondary version of A24, which I would say A24 is better. at doing these movies than Neon, but I don't know. Just found this movie very boring, dull experience. But yeah, see you on the next one, everybody. Take care, folks. Bye bye.